guys, I'm Jung. I'm studying sculpture. And today I want to present about minimal sculpture from minimalism. And the reason why I chose this subject is there are two reasons. First, this art period and art type made United States art became the conquering art world because normally in the past Europe was the leading art world, but in this period it's transferred into American art world. So I thought this was the really highlighted period in our situation, and also this minimal sculpture made the path to lead us to postmodernism. So I thought this is a great way to see the result from the art history. Perfect doesn't mean there is nothing more to add. It means there is nothing more to remove. So this is a quote from the author from the Little Prince, which is Saint Ashbury. You guys read it? Well, he's a novelist, a famous novelist, and also a flag fighter, and he died. But this is a significant quote that represents minimalism. So as you can see, minimalism is located here, which says no expression, only form. And it was right after the abstract experimentalism. Oh, I got it started. Expressionism. So it's no form, only expression. So it's kind of an opposite. And in this part of our world, was fighting each other. And this came out because to resist about this guy's idea. And when you see, like I said, after minimalism, we go to postmodern art. And we see performance, video art, earth art, gravity. I'll explain more in the back, but you guys have to focus on this because this was a really revolutionary period in our world. So I'll get into more detail on this. Okay, so abstract expressionism is about to resist the illusionism. Art has to be more focused on its meaning. So illusionism is the main theme in the Renaissance art period. So at that time, art was doing its job as a photography and also an art history book. So people went to galleries, people went to church, saw these great sculptures and paintings, and tried to see the world inside. Because they thought painters can actually, make a new world from its paintings. So we call it mimesis. And so they believe that they're trying to they can able to put in some kind of spiritual activity inside painting. So normally we see a lot of illusionism in religious paintings. So when you see big, giant paintings represent Jesus Christ. In that time, people was trying to actually see the painting and actually they believe they're able to feel Jesus Christ right away. So that's what we call illusionism. And in abstract expressionism, it's modern art. So it's right after Renaissance and stuff like that. So in modern art, they denied the illusionism of art because they wanted art to be art. So they wanted to focus, as paintings, they wanted to focus on the flatness because it's drawn over a canvas, and also the visual and shape, not about the concept or beliefs or the spiritual aspects. They wanted to be painting as painting. Like the Clement Greenberg, he's a huge art critic and art theorist in the modern period, and he kind of represented in his quote about painting has to be painting. And also in architecture, they had to focus on volume and mass, and also music, they have to focus on the sound and the time duration. So pretty much in this period, all art forms and art mediums have to focus on what they were doing to represent their values in the world. But there were some people who didn't like this idea. We call them minimalism and minimal art. So they share the same idea to resist the illusionism in art, but they try to figure out a different way, as art has to be soaked into the space. So minimalist is radically drags the space into their art form rather than maintaining art as art. So it's a big combination. So, and they argue this idea of a specific object, which is sculpture, changing sculpture into object, and rejecting space and involving the space and time, which is presence. So this idea came because of phenomenology. This idea is from Edmund Husserl. This idea is about the world can be seen as an individual's experience. So the truth in world is what you see, what you feel, rather than what you read and what you know. So it was radically trying to make you focus on the experience. So the minimalism and minimal artists was trying to pull that idea of experience into their artworks. So that's why they wanted to make their artworks don't be seen as just sculpture, well-made sculpture. They wanted to be seen as an object to involve the viewers from the gallery. So Donald Judd is the leading theorist and also a sculptor himself, which argued the idea of what you see is the presence. So this activity kind of made the art get to have this huge idea, rather than like before we just saw how beautiful the curve, the sculpture was, how beautiful the color was, and stuff like that. But he said he thought that's kind of a limit from a sculpture, so he wanted to break the limit and try to make the sculpture out of the pedestal and leave it in the floor to actually invade the space, which nobody hasn't think about it before. So this is the theatrical relationship, which is minimalism and minimal art trying to make this kind of organization and relationship. So it's about the viewer and the space and the object. So this triangle is actually making the viewer to experience something rather than the artist is showing something. So it's a big turn of the art. So right here, the big change is becoming like this. So artists is after before minimalism, it was all about the artist idea and artist technique. But in minimalism, they argued to change this perspective into there's not now artist isn't important. It's about the viewer's experience, and also it's not about the shape and its form. It's about the space where it is located, and also reject the illusionism. They wanted to make their sculpture into the object. So, for example, like I said, Donald Judd, as you can see, he is radically choosing the simplest form, shape, and pretty much no color contained to make his sculpture to look as an object, to include this whole space inside of his sculpture. So when you guys go to Dialicon or when you deal with minimalist sculptures, you have to see the whole part of the space rather than focusing on each shape and sculpture, because it doesn't mean anything. He's trying to actually make you guys focus on the whole. So it's pretty much, we call it minimalism, but they're actually trying to make it more like involve everything. So, and this is another guy, Robert Morris. It's the same thing. So these are same shapes but different locations. So people is actually able to see it differently. Every people can able to see it differently. When you change, when you move, when you touch it and stuff like that. So he's radically challenging the viewer to see it rather than, oh, it's this is my idea, you guys have to see it like this way. He's not trying to say that. And also this is Carl Andre, the same mechanism. So he's making his sculpture into tiny pieces to make this whole space involved in his sculpture. And also Dan Flavin, he used this Florence light with his work. And what he was trying to do is the same thing, to involve the space. And also this famous guy, Richard Serra, he's actually doing the same thing with it. And also the fact that he's using yarn and strings to show the minimalist form to involve the whole space. And the last, John McCracken, he's using the simple repeat of long bars to actually have the same. So return to this theatrical relationship. This is pretty much the important revolution in artwork, because this made art to move on to the postmodernism. So, like this, theatrical relationship made installation art. So installation art is about size specificity. So this means like when you guys think about installation art, you guys think about like projection and stuff like that. And what they are really doing is about they're trying to radically use the specific space of their art. Like when they need to go to a place, a ruin like roller coaster, they have to go there to actually make their work, because they wanted to involve that essence and atmosphere inside their work. So in that case, we call installation art as site-specific art as well. And this is all about theatrical relationship also. And also land art. This is like the huge, like the sculptures getting out of the white cube, like galleries, and actually trying to be located in various like lands, like outside, oceans, beach, stuff like that. And also performance, this is radically about the theatrical relationship also. It's not about the form and shape. They're trying to figure out the aesthetics inside the relationship. And also conceptual art too. Conceptual art is pretty much known in postmodernism. So what they're doing is also, they're not trying to show the beauty of their sculpture. They're trying to make the viewer to see what's beyond that sculpture. So it's all became possible because of the theatrical relationship which minimalism and minimalist artists tried to do. And they actually were very successful to make the after artists to maintain these various art conditions. Thank you.
Questions, comments?